Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawada from GMS St. Petersburg, Florida, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHIM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. All right, so I want to jump to this here lesson, basically dealing with this defiled ass food that we got here. One of the things that a lot of people are starting to realize, is just, there's a lot of people getting sick off a lot of different things, and people are starting to question a lot of things now. People that's not in the truth and whatnot. They starting to feel the so-called pain or the grips closing in on them, more or less to say, But nevertheless, I want to do this here lesson because, the scriptures prophesied about all these different things, man. The scriptures told us that basically at the end, all these different things was going to be coming, all these calamities and downfalls and everything was basically going to be bad. All right. But yet you have people here in America that still, so-called believe in America. They still want to be here, so on and so forth, but yet they starting to complain about little small things here and there, not putting them all together and connecting the dots, seeing you have one big major disaster of a picture. All right. Some people are like, oh man, the food, like certain so-called white people, we got to go get our whole foods. We don't want we don't want GMO food, right? They talk about those things, but yet they don't put into place all the other things that's working connectively with it. All right. But not just those people, but, a lot of our own people, a lot of our own people is out here, eating goddamn McDonald's and so on and so forth. And, just all this defiled ass food. Granted, all the food is defiled, but you got some way low level ass food where you're eating plastic. All right. You eating all kind of crazy shit, styrofoam or cardboard and shit like that, but nevertheless, all these different things was all prophesied in the scriptures. All right. The Most High set everything up the way he had it set up. But let me go start. Let me read this first and I'll get another scripture. This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right. So it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. Now, as a quick little tip of who the hell the wicked is, if you don't know, it also said he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So who covered up all the faces of the judges? All right. Who is the likeness of, YAHWASHI painted as? A so-called white man. Who are all the so-called saints that they depicted painted as? So-called white men. All right. So, it's a dead giveaway of who the wicked is. And then just look at who's running the whole damn earth. All right. It's the so-called white man. All right. But nevertheless, it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? The point I want to pull out of that was the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. All right. So from there, we're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, and verse 1. Behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turneth it upside down and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. All right. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. And the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh has spoken the word. All right. So the Most High is about to turn this whole place upside down because everything's already turned upside down in this place. All right. Because this place is the land of confusion. All right. Babylon the Great. What is Babylon going to? Babel, confused. Land, all right, the great land of confusion. That's where we at right here in America. Everything is upside down, inside out, man. People don't know whether they're coming or going, what's up and what's down. All right, everything is just inside out here, man. You got America telling some, oh, we the light unto the world. We need to police the world, but damn, you biggest criminal on the face of the earth, man. Not just that, we want to give so-called universal health care to everybody. We want everybody to be healthy and everything like this, but yet and still, you got Monsanto, all right, pumping out or in control of all the seeds and pumping out all the poison upon all the food. All right. So, how the hell can you say that you want, everybody to have good health care and be healthy and all this and that when you the main culprit of implementing this poison into these people, man? All right. These people are ingesting poison day in, day out and fake food all damn day long here in America. All right. But again, all these things are prophesied in the scriptures that it will be like this. All right. Everything's all turned upside down. Yo, if you ain't realized you living in hell right here, right now, like, yo, you need to wake up. If our gospel be hid, it's hid to them that are lost, the ones that's blinded. All right. So it says, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh hath spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. All right. It says, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinances and broken the everlasting covenant. All right. So we read in Job 9:24 that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And what did he do with it? Verse 5, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof. All right, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenants. All right, the Most High had everything set up and ordained the way He had it all set up. But what the so-called white man came, you know what I'm saying, is in control of every damn thing and is defiling the whole damn earth. Man, he's the devil. He's running it on the left hand side to the max, to the fullest, in a demonic state. You know, he's just waxing worse and worse and worse. He's not on no righteous path. He's not trying to bring righteousness into the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? If he did, he'd probably just go kill his goddamn self and all his descendants. You see what I'm saying? That's the only way that the so-called white man could bring righteousness into the planet Earth, to get rid of his own damn self. All right. But we know that that's, you know, well, other Edomites going to get rid of him, you know, according to the Lord, you know, but nevertheless, the so-called white man ain't trying to, under his rulership, he's not trying to do anything, how do I say, righteous or progressive. Everything he's doing is to regress people and destroy people. All right. All he's doing is go around rape, robbing, and murder. All right. But nevertheless, let me read that one more time. Verse 5, the earth is defiled under the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinances and broken the everlasting covenants. All right. And so we're going to get into some of the things that the Most High has set forth and put in place. All right. Going back into the beginning. When did He do it? In the beginning. All right. I'm going to read it verbatim in Genesis 1:11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after his kind. And the Most High saw that it was good. All right. So these are some of the we just read the earth language, you know what I'm saying? Basically, because they transgressed all the laws and ordinances and broken the everlasting covenants. All right. The Most High this is one of the everlasting covenants that the Most High had set forth. All right. He said, verse 11, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. All right. So if the Most High had commissioned and set forth that there was going to bring forth grass, let the earth bring forth grass, that's in a perpetual cycle from the beginning up until this day. All right. Grass still grows, not as much as it used to, but because of, you know, Esau, Edom, how do I say, breaking all the everlasting ordinances and stuff like that, you know, pouring concrete every damn where and everything like this, you know what I'm saying, and manipulating the weather and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Esau, Edom, you know, has broken that everlasting covenant about the grass. All right, the herb yielding seed and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself. All right, for a lot of people, me speaking for myself primarily, first and foremost, there's a lot of fruits and vegetables that I have never really seen in my life before. Not no some shit that's not, you know, normal here in America that we could normally just grab at the grocery store. But I'm talking about the normal shit that you see at the grocery store. You know, like your strawberries, your apples, your bananas, all of this shit. None of that shit is real. None of that shit, like, you know, some of that we've actually had where it was more or less on a real form, you know, as we was growing up. You know, I remember seeing real apples before when, you know, as I was growing up, you know, real oranges. You can still find some real oranges sometimes. All right. But, you know, and I was describing this to somebody, you know, I was describing this to somebody about, you know, eating real food and everything like that, you know, for instance, like bananas, you know, again, like we're reading here, everything is supposed to have a damn seed inside of itself. All right. A perpetual cycle. You know, you have a banana on the banana tree, the banana falls off, you know, and just the course of nature, the banana, you know, get to its prime, whatever, whatnot, wind up just falling off because of just, you know, regular nature. You know what I'm saying? It start decaying. All right. And then the seed that's on the inside and fell upon the ground, it could, you know what I'm saying? Or if another animal eat it up, you know what I'm saying? And they go through the process and now it then shitted it out. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? It's a perpetual cycle. You see what I'm saying? We don't have to wait till a certain year and go to the Most High, like, yo, we need more apple seeds because we done ran out of apples on the planet Earth. You know, every so many years we got to go to the Most High to re-up on apple seeds, orange seeds, banana seeds. No, we don't got to do that. It's already there for us. All right. Even if we was to leave that shit alone, you know what I'm saying? Like if you was to say like, yo, you got an orchard full of banana trees, apple trees, orange trees, and things like that. You know, you leave that shit alone to its own, you know, course of nature. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be as pretty as if you was, you know what I'm saying, lining up your farm and, you know, pulling weeds in here and there, whatever, whatnot. But yet at the same time, man, hey man, it's going to perpetually keep growing out new oranges and whatever you got on the trees because of the seeds supposed to be in it. However, in today's society, you go to the grocery store, you'll pick up an orange, and the oranges don't have seeds in them. All right. You know, and one of the ways to look at your fruits and your vegetables to tell if it's real or if it's fake. You see what I'm saying? It's like just like the plastic fruits and shit that you see you put on your table for decoration. That shit be all extra glossy and shiny. It always look real and everything, right? So for instance, here's a little test you can do. Go to your grocery store and go look at your produce. All right. Your apples. Apples aren't supposed to be shiny like that. They're not supposed to be glossy and stuff like that. All right. Real fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all been trained to go to the grocery store and pick out the best looking fruits and vegetables. You know, when you looking at this big ass like crate full of apples, bananas, strawberries, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to get the ones with the little spots on them here and there, the blemishes and things like that, you know? So when we shop for the best looking, presentable whatever we buying, you know, whether it be sometimes even meats, you know, but fruits and vegetables, we wind up looking for the so-called best looking ones, you know, like for instance, again, an apple, right? You see a glossy, big looking, juicy apple, you know what I'm saying? All glossy, look all nice and everything like that. But see, because they know that you buying off of presentation, that glossiness, apples don't really have that real gloss on there like that. They're not like that. All right. But yet and still, again, they're selling it based off of our perception. You know, an apple's supposed to be like that dull looking color. They're not going to be uniform in size and shape. They're going to be disformed and not growing into a perfect shape. You know, like if you was to draw, like a little kid draw a heart, you know, it's pretty much, the same shape, you know, just in reverse. But, you know, you draw on the heart, but then one side of the heart lopsided than the other side. Well, that's how real fruit should kind of be looking. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be perfect and uniform. Same with oranges. Out where we live at, you know, we see a lot of orange trees and things like that, you know, and like Tropicana owns lots and lots of orange groves, or you know, orange groves out here where we at, you know. But nevertheless, you go and you look at their oranges on their trees. These are small little oranges, all right, and they're very vibrant in color. They got like this HD color look to it. It's like a vibrant, pretty orange to it, you know, and they're kind of small. Oranges are not orange. Oranges are yellow. Oranges are supposed to be pretty big and yellow, all right? And they're supposed to be ugly looking and defiled looking, like, damn, if you've seen a thing full of real oranges, you would not want to pick these oranges up. Also, oranges have a lot of seeds in them, all right? Same with lemons. Like the scripture said, they all have their seeds inside of them. But yet you go to the store and you see these perfectly round, not really round, but these perfectly shaped little lemons with the glossiness on them or whatever, whatnot. No seeds in them for your convenience. They look better, but that's not real. They've been genetically modified. The Most High said every fruit and basically all the fruits and the trees and stuff like that and the herbs, they got their seeds inside of them. All right. They got their own seeds so they can reproduce. All right. They can keep going. All right. But now for convenience sake, you know, our people have been trained up to like, oh, I don't want to eat this fruit and have to spit out all these seeds. All right. But yet and still, you know, one of the things that the people don't realize is, hell, the government took away all them damn seeds to monopolize them things. You know what I'm saying? You could literally go to the store. All right. And you have you some land or whatever, but you go to the store and you go buy you one orange. And that orange, you're going to have multiple seeds. You can plant you multiple orange trees. And now you can be selling you some oranges once they start coming through. But what? So-called white man's like, nah, you're going to keep buying oranges from me. I got the seeds. I own Monsanto. All right. And then I'm creating new GMO products that's going to produce with no seeds in them. All right. So this is all doings of the so-called white man. This is how it's supposed to be, man. Your fruits and your vegetables and all these things like that are supposed to have seeds inside of them. All right. You're not supposed to be genetically modifying. And like another thing with the fruits and the vegetables, there was a place I used to work at, a tomato packing house. All right. What they used to do with these tomatoes, they used to inject them with fish DNA, because some of the fish, they hold water from living in the water, right? They want these fruits to hold water, to look juicy year round. They only harvest them once a year. All right. So they only pick the field once a year and they sell it to you 365 days out of the year. They need that shit to look fresh all the time. All right. So they didn't splice these genes and created some new shit that ain't even real. You see what I'm saying? And then they didn't took the damn seeds up out of these things. All right. But nevertheless, these are all so-called tainted and genetically modified, because the Most High created these things perfect off rip. All right. And he said it was good. All right. It might not be so-called looking good unto you visually, whatever, whatnot, but getting still, you know, that it's not got all these preservatives and things like that. You know, again, they put all these preservatives inside these fruits and vegetables for them to stay on the shelf a lot longer, for them to have a longer shelf life and to live a lot longer, or for them to be able to sell them a lot longer. But you putting these things inside of your body. All right. Same like with the chickens. 28 days, the chicken go from an egg to on your plate, pumping it full of steroids, pumping this chicken up to be fat. When you eat the chicken, you eating chicken with the steroids in it and wondering why you getting big. Same with these fruits and the vegetables where they putting all these preservatives and things like that inside of them. All right. And you wondering why these people are getting sick. They're not even eating real food. They're not even eating the food for the nutritional value in them. All right. You eating a lot of things that don't have no real nutritional value anyway. All right. You might eat something that's like, all right, this is so-called good and healthy to eat for X, Y, and Z. But nevertheless, you just eating something. You just basically eating a mass or a matter. You're not getting the real substance up out of this fruit or vegetable to begin with. Because of why? The so-called white man took it and defiled it by making GMOs out of every damn thing. All right. He want to go back and create everything, say he got it. He created everything good. The Most High say he created these things and it was good when he created it. All right. It don't got that high definition, bright color on certain things and glossy. And you know what I'm saying? How do you say, have imperfections on there like that. Hey man, like I was telling somebody else, you know, real food, real good food go bad very quickly. All right. You're not even supposed to have you're not supposed to have no refrigerator, man. That shit is wicked, man. You're supposed to eat fresh food. You know, we all been growing up by eating leftovers and things like that. But obviously from the scenario and the circumstance that we living in, but at the same time, you're supposed to be eating fresh food all the time. All right. You ain't supposed to be trying to sit here and store up certain things like the analogy the Most High gave. Like, yo, man, y'all have committed basically two transgressions against me. You know, you forsaken the living waters and you hewn out cisterns that can hold no water. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, I gave you, you know, it's a lot deeper than that. Before that, the same analogy, like, yo, I gave you running water, living water. You know what I'm saying? Where no bacteria, no nothing like that in there, no diseases or nothing. And you wanted to sit here and store up water because you felt like you was running out of water. These rivers ain't gonna run dry. None of these rivers gonna ever run dry. You're gonna always have continuous fresh water flowing. For you, you know, you can eat out of this motherfucker, you can drink out of it, you know, it's all these different things you can get from this here river, but you scared and don't have faith in that, so you want to store it for yourself and preserve some water. And we all know what happens when you get a bucket of water. You just let it sit, then you want to get in bacteria, the water turn green, you get mosquitoes and stuff like that coming up out of it. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, man. These people, these Edomites want to take the food, you know, again, like the analogy of the fresh water. You're supposed to be, you're supposed to be drinking fresh water that's just constantly always flowing, but yet you want to preserve some stuff, stock up for some stuff, because why? You don't have faith that the Most High going to provide for you continuously. And now you got to start making all these preservatives. Oh, well, we don't know if these tomatoes going to last year round and so on and so forth. Maybe the Most High had different seasons and different things like that for you not to just have, like, let's say orange juice year round. Maybe you drink a little bit of orange juice in this season, then you drink this type of juice in that season, or this fruit now and that fruit then and this and that. You know, it's going to keep coming back around in cycles, you know. But nevertheless, so-called white men want to be greedy and take all these different things and store them all up, make all these preservatives. And this is where you get these GMO foods from. All right. The Most High, I mean, just think about it. Why? Hey, he broke it down to you. He's like, look, I made the fruits and the vegetables and everything like that and put the seed inside of his own self, man. Why do you think the Most High did all that and told us about these types of things? He didn't want us to be worried about the type of stuff that the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying, is looking into, but he's also using that as a weapon, all right? To sit here and control all these people, giving them all these damn sicknesses and diseases from eating basically poison and plastic their whole fucking life, man. A lot of people is just ingesting just straight plastic day in and day out. If not plastic, some mystery shit that ain't even real, nothing. You know, you got, I don't even want to get into half the damn food that they got, but they got some shit that's like, yo, non-meat chicken. You know, it's flavored chicken. Man, what kind of shit is that, man? Why can't you just eat chicken? You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? The so-called white man is making up all this fake food. You got processed food. You got all kind of abominations that we over here eating, man. This is not the way that the Most High had it set up. But what? Like the scriptures say, you know, well, shit, your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as a potter's clay. But we read in Isaiah 24 about how the Most High gonna have to turn everything back right side up because everything is destroyed because the so-called white man then did every damn thing. All right, the inhabitants of the earth or the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. All right, because why? He broke the everlasting covenants, transgressed the laws, and changed up all the ordinances. All right, so, and that's what you see here. The Most High said, look, I created all the fruits and the vegetables with their seeds inside of them, but yet you want to go and create your own gene splicing and seed splicing and all that, make your own, you know what I'm saying, tomatoes that you can pick off the plant today and have that bitch for a whole 365 days afterwards, and it's still juicy and plump and everything else like that, man. Just think about that going inside of your system, man. It's supposed to go in, you get the nutrients out, and you pass out with whatever you ain't supposed to have. But yet you having all these people with digestive problems, all right, and then your lower intestines and stuff like that's where a lot of these diseases and sicknesses come from. You know, really, your body wouldn't necessarily get sick. You know, when you go into all this sickness and stuff like that, is really, you're not really designed to get sick, man. Esau had to create a scenario inside of your body for you to be able to get these sicknesses to cleave unto you. All right, just like the analogy I was giving you about the running, living water like rivers and stuff like that versus some sitting water. All right, in order for you to get that bacteria and stuff in there, you got to have sitting water and stuff like that. And, you know, the water ain't really moving nowhere and stuff like that. You got to have that kind of condition. Same with your body. Your body is majority of water. All right, and, you know, not to go too far off into it, but you know how they say, oh, you got a high alkaline body, or, you know, whatever, your pH value is really low. You got a highly acidic body. This is the condition that the so-called white man wants all your, you know, everybody into, so he can induce all these sicknesses on you by feeding you more and more poison. All right. Start out by feeding you poison and lower your, you know, your body's immune system and keep feeding you more poison till you die, man. Well, why do you need to keep feeding people plastic and all this extra shit, man? There's more than enough food on the planet Earth. No matter what nobody tell you, there's more than enough food on the planet Earth to feed a whole fucking population 10 times over, man. Just take a small example. How many apples are on an apple tree? All right. And how many seeds are supposed to be in a damn apples, right? Let's say 3 or 4 seeds inside of one apple. So if you got one apple tree with multiple apples on there, you could just take one apple off that tree and at least get 4 seeds out of there, right? So you can go plant you 4 more trees. It's going to give you more and more apples. You're not going to ever run out of food that way. You see what I'm saying? Same with like the animals that we eat. You know, a chicken lay a damn egg every single day. You see what I'm saying? So like there's more than enough food on the planet Earth, but what? Esau Edom wants to change up every damn thing on the planet Earth, all right, and use food as a weapon to basically kill off the people on the planet Earth, all right. So let me continue on. Actually, let me read that one more time. This is Genesis 1:11, and the Most High said, "Let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after its kind. And the Most High saw it was good. All right. So that's how the Most High had things set up. All right. Going over to Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 19. It says, "Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with diverse kind." All right. Basically, going into like mating, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to mate, you know, one type of cow with another type of cow. "Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed, neither shall a garment mingle of linen and woolen come upon thee." All right. Now you see, like this part of the mingled garments, right? This is one of the things how, you know, you hear some of the highways in the Bible say, hey, we keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. All right. Because why? We living in captivity, bro. Like you're not supposed to have garments mingle, you know, 2 different types of material, but i.e. we in this here place where we at now. So that's one of the laws that we can't really keep, you know what I'm saying? So we try to the best of our ability. All right. But nevertheless, the things that we can control, we do control. But going back up, Leviticus 19:19, "You shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with diverse kind." So don't be having your cows mixing or any of your livestock mixing with other type of livestock. You know, they do certain things like this, or genetically modifying them at the same time. All right. Because like, again, the chickens, you pumping them full of steroids and things like that. All right. And then, you know, when you get to, you know, this lesson is based upon food, but at the same time, this is how you get all these damn dogs, like these I call them pocket dogs, these little tiny ass little dogs and shit like that. None of them shits is real, man. You wouldn't have no dog that small. All right. They ain't gonna be able to fend for themselves out in the wilderness and stuff like that. All right. Dogs was big until people started breeding them to be smaller. They was mixing until they got way smaller. Again, if you look at a dog in its original state versus the damn little pocket dogs they have now, which dog is better off? you wind up depleting one of the dogs down from all of his so-called might and his glory down to basically a pocket fucking dog nowadays. Same with all this other stuff, man. You ain't got no real vitamins and nutrients and none of this stuff inside of these things, all right? Cows ain't supposed to be as big as the cows are walking around today, all right? None of these animals are supposed to be like that, but yet they trying to get more and more out of these animals, all right? Also, cloning all these goddamn animals. There's a lot of different shit going on with our food, but nevertheless, the Most High say, look, man, don't be mixing seeds and stuff like that, and how do you say, mixing, they got it breeding animals a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be trying to mix this and that, try to get different types of outcomes and things to so-called, how do I say, better certain things up, like the Monsanto and the food, how they call it, not provisions. They got all these, damn, can't think of the word now, but preservatives. You know, you got all these preservatives inside the food and everything like that. The Most High don't want you to be preserving no damn food like that, man. You just get it and eat it right then and there. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be stocking up and for all this extra shit, hoarding up stuff for it to get old and molded and stuff like that. You wind up eating some old ass food. You know what I'm saying? You trying to keep some meat, you know what I'm saying, 6-7 months on in and wonder why your ass is sick. You supposed to be eating fresh food, you know what I'm saying? This is why a lot of the plant life or vegetables don't have a long shelf life once you pull them off the plant. You ain't supposed to be storing them up for long periods of time. If you're going to go and eat off of it, go out there, pick it, prepare it, eat it right then and there. You got fresh fruit, you know, fresh vegetables. All right. Let me continue on real quick and we can go ahead and close out. But here again, like the scriptures say, look, don't, let me just go back. Leviticus 19:19. You shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall the garments mingle of linen or woolen come upon thee. So the point I wanted to get in there is, yo, man, you ain't supposed to be genetically modifying your damn cows, or not just your cows, your livestock, your meats and stuff like that you eating with. Neither the fruits and the vegetables that you dealing with. All right. So this GMO and all that is against the scriptures. All right. That's why the Most High said the earth is turned upside down, basically, because the goddamn white man is in control. All right. This is Ezekiel 4, and I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, Take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in a one vessel, and make thee bread thereof according to the number of the days thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof. And the meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time thou shalt eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, a sixth part of a hin. From time to time thou shalt drink. Okay. Verse 12. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man in their sight. All right. So verse 13. And Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. So we know that this here place where we at is well, I'll close out with that scripture, but we know this place that we in now is wholly polluted, man. This place is to destroy us. All right, but here they're talking about what? You know, you mixing all these different foods together just to make one thing. You know what I'm saying? Same way what they do with the foods nowadays. They got all these different byproducts. You know what I'm saying? They got, like, you know, you'll read, let's say certain meats, chicken with no artificial flavoring and no byproducts and no this and that. Well, why can't you just give me fucking chicken? Like, it's not that hard just to get a chicken and eat the chicken the way it is. You don't need to add nothing to it. It's chicken. You know what I'm saying? But yet and still you have certain things where they making all these different foods with all these different meats in there, all these different cuts of meat, you know, put inside of there to make this or make that because it's cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the sausage, I believe, came upon that way. You know, they took the scraps of the meats and they was putting it together. You know what I'm saying? And eating it because what? They didn't have enough to eat a whole, you know, not to say a valuable meal, but for a real example, in Venezuela, you know, you have people out there buying old ass meat. You know what I'm saying? You also have people just buying straight fat and no meat because they don't have the money for it. All right. And this is the times and the beings that we being in now. You know, it's harder and harder for people to eat. A lot of people can't eat the so-called non-GMO food. They got to eat this old cheap ass food. A lot of people even shop that way. Oh, this is on discount. This is that. We got a good deal on that. Not knowing that's either cheap or low grade food. That's not even real food. And it's, you know, the cheaper it is, the lower quality it is, you know. Oh, I got these fruits and the vegetables and so on and so forth. But yet it's all, how do I say, It's all cheap food, you know, and you got people making so-called life decisions on certain food. Well, I gotta eat, I gotta stretch this, gotta stretch that. You know what I'm saying? That's where we coming to now, you know. People trying to make their things so-called stretch and make it last for them. They trying to cut their meals a little further because why? For one, you know, it's not the full portion of the meal that they're supposed to be getting, in a sense, like your vitamins and your nutrients. All right, you're not getting your full how do I say, fill up with the food that you eating. You know, you're just eating basically like a massive nothing. All right, it's just going through and hitting your receptors saying that you ate something, but it's not really doing nothing for your body. This is why a lot of us is just sick, because we're not really eating real food to begin with. All right, we just eating up how do I say, pollutions and pollutants. All right, this whole place has got us all destroyed. But now, all right, they got these different systems. Like they said, thou shalt drink also thy water by measure. The sixth part of a hen from time to time shall thou drink. You know, right now you have people trying to get so-called fresh water. They, you know, they got water purifiers and things like that. But it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to be paying for this shit extra. It's going to be extra expensive. Look, you want some non-defiled ass water, you're going to have to pay extra money for it. You know, you want some non-defiled ass meats and vegetables, you're going to have to pay for it. Just like go to Venezuela. Like I said, them people out there eating old ass meat, you know what I'm saying? And just fat because they can't afford actual meat. All right. And that's what, you know, you see America starting at now. People is so-called buying genetically modified foods and clone meat because why? It's cheaper for them and they can afford it. All right. People can't really afford to do a lot of the things that they want to do and live the way that they want to live. All right. And plus, there's really no place for you to be able to get a lot of these things. The elites keep these things to themselves. All right. And we're going to close out with this. This is Micah 2:10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sword of destruction. All right. So this here place that we in, Babylon the Great, America, this place is not our rest, man. We're not supposed to be getting comfortable here and enjoying everything here. Oh, this is good. This is good. Blah, blah, blah. Man, this place is polluted and this is going to destroy you. All right. I done heard of, for instance, since we talking about this here food, I heard of somebody that was here in America, you know, that's a so-called American, you know, that was a vegan, wound up going outside the country, right? And wound up getting some fruits and vegetables from outside the country, but wound up getting sick in the car ride home because of the smell of the fruits and the vegetables, because it was so strong and so potent, you know. And then they try, you know, it was they was allergic to the touch of it, and even allergic to the eating it because of why? Their body had never really had was not really used to actually ingesting this real food. So it was like, yo, you basically overdosed off of some real shit that you were supposed to have to begin with. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't prepared. Your tolerance level for that wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's what you're supposed to be eating to begin with, but yet nowadays you've been growing up eating plastic the whole damn time. The first time you get for instance, I believe they tell you that you get potassium from bananas, right? So if you eat bananas with no real potassium in there, the first time you eat a banana that has the normal amount of potassium in there, you basically gonna get a high dosage of some shit you ain't never really had like that. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, this whole place here is polluted, man. This whole place here in Babylon the Great is destroying you. All right. And is about to be destroyed because it's destroying everybody around it. All right. Whether it be with the air, the water, or your food. But nevertheless, you know, these GMOs and our people eating our damn food defiled. This is all according to the scriptures. All right. It's like we just read. Children of Israel is going to eat their bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. And that's what we're doing right now, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why we pray over our foods, because we know all this damn food is defiled. All this food is fake, man. This is also why we're praying for salvation to get the hell up out of here in America. All right. We're not trying to rest here and make this our, well, this is just how it is. We got to get used to it. We got to just start buying whole foods and stuff. Well, how do you know that GMO logo ain't just everything is like that? They're just putting that on there to take extra money from you. All right. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out, Lord. This here lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahawah, Bahashim, YAHAWASHI, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for your Akim pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.